Hi, I'm Dan Smith, and I'm going to teach you how to play Just the Two of Us by Bill Withers. And this is a great song if you're just getting started because the chords are very simple, but it's also a great song if you want to learn to sing and play at the same time, and eventually if you want to learn how to play lead and rhythm at the same time. It's a really good song to get your foot in the door with that. But I'm going to demo the song very simply to start out with, and then I might add a few bells and whistles as we go along. So it goes like this. I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. And I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building castles way up high. Just the two of us. You and I. So that's a verse and a chorus, but let's break down the chords one at a time. The very first chord is a C major 7th, and the way you're going to play that is with your index finger on the 4th string of the 2nd fret, and then your middle finger goes on the 5th string of the 3rd fret, and you're going to play the 5th string for your bass note and play the bottom 5 strings with the down strum, just like that. That's C major 7th. Then you're going to play a B7, and the best way to get to that is just keep your fingers right where they are, but slide them down to the 1st and 2nd frets. Same strings, same fingers, 1 fret lower, and then you're going to put your ring finger on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret and your pinky on the 1st string of the 2nd fret, and you're going to play the 5th string for your bass note and strum the bottom 5 strings. That's B7th. Then you go to E minor, which is your 1st finger on the 5th string of the 2nd fret and your 2nd finger on the 4th string, also on the 2nd fret, but this time you play the 6th string for your bass note. You play all 6 strings, one time. Then you're going to keep your index finger right where it is on the 5th string of the 2nd fret, but bring your 2nd finger up to the 6th string on the 3rd fret and put your ring finger on the 1st string of the 3rd fret. This is a G, and you're going to play the 6th string for your bass note again with a down strum. So those are all the chords in the song, but here's what happens. The second time through, you leave out the G chord. So you do C major 7th again, one time, B7 again, and E minor, but then you hold on to E minor for an extra 2 beats. So the way that works, beat-wise, is you're doing C major 7th for 2, B7 for 2, meaning a bass note and down strum, that's worth 2 beats, and then E minor, 3, 4, and then you go back to C major 7. Now that's the most important transition in the whole song, is getting from E minor back to C major 7th, all right? Because that's what's going to kind of complete the loop, connect the dots, if you will. Now, those are the basic chords, but if you want to add a little something a little extra, we like to call it a passing chord. You might have noticed from the demo that I did this chord. This is a D minor 7th. Now, D minor 7th is your index finger on the 1st and 2nd strings of the 1st fret. You're going to bar, right? You're going to use that flat inside part of your finger. And then put your 2nd finger on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret, and you're going to play just the bottom 4 strings. Now, there's no bass note here, because this chord is going to replace the bass note that you would normally do on your G. So instead of playing a bass note and down strum for your G, you're going to do a D minor 7th, and then a single strum for G. So altogether it sounds like this. B7, E minor, and then D minor 7, G, and then back to C major 7. Now again, that's kind of a little bit of a badass move there, right? And so if you watch my other videos, you might be familiar with one of my prime pieces of advice to everybody, which is whenever you have a badass move to make on guitar, the most important part of the badass move is not the badass move. It's what you do after the badass move, right? Which is get back to your bass note so that you can keep the flow of everything happening. Now, in terms of singing and playing this song, this is a great song to get your foot in the door with singing and playing, but the way you're going to do that, if you've never done it before, this is how you're going to get started. You're going to take the word or the syllable of the word for just the very first line, maybe even just the first 2 words of the song, and you're going to match it up with the bass note or the strum that you're doing. So for example, the first line of this song is, I see the crystal raindrops fall. So let's break that down. So I'm not going to sing anything on my first bass note. I see, right? So I sing I between my bass note and my strum, but on the word see, I strum. Totally doable, right? I see the crystal, right? You got to take it in small pieces, baby steps, small bites. I see the crystal, right? So the word crystal goes right on the bass note. Actually, just crist. Just think of crist on the bass note for B7. Raindrops, I see the crystal rain, right? So the rain goes on the strum for B7. So I think you get the idea, right? You have to kind of puzzle piece it together. Now, eventually, you're not going to have to do that. So you'll be able to just kind of listen and relax and kind of go with the flow of it. But this is a great way to get yourself started singing and playing at the same time. Now, if you want to start to integrate some lead fills into these chords, you are going to need to get familiar with a little something called the minor pentatonic scale, which I have a video for, and you can check that out. But if you're already familiar with that, or maybe you don't feel like watching that video and you just want to kind of get started with a little something to kind of throw in there, I like to do it after that E minor, that long E minor, right? The 4-beat long E minor, right? So it's the second time through, the time when you don't go to G, and then you're just going to play those 4 notes right there. First string, 3rd fret, first string open, second string, 3rd fret, second string open. But then the most important part of this badass move is what you do after the badass move, which is the bass note for your C major 7th. And I'll give you a little tip when it comes to playing lead and rhythm at the same time. The last note of any riff you play should be the first note of your next chord, right? So you got to think ahead. Now, there's more to that scale, and again, if you want to get to know the minor pentatonic scale, which I just played, check out my other video about the minor pentatonic scale. But that's a pretty good first step into just the 2 of us. That'll keep you busy for a while. If you want to go to the next level and play these same chords further up on the neck in a little sort of fancier chords and expand your vocabulary a little bit, check out my part 2 video of just the 2 of us, where I play the same chords and maybe do a little extra lead up here too, because that will definitely bring your playing to the next level. So if you found this video helpful, I hope you did. I hope you enjoyed it. I really appreciate everybody checking out these videos and supporting this YouTube channel. So if you did, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.